Hello YouTube, it's your boy Adam here. In this video we're going to be taking a look at 6-Night KAYLE. I see a lot of people in my games play this wrong. They're playing it at the start and they're just bleeding out so early and it's a quick 8th. I'm going to go through a couple of things, show you how to get top 4s, possibly win. If you haven't subscribed, please do consider subscribing. I do upload multiple times a week with TFT, comps, guides, everything you need to get better at the game. So yeah, leave a like on the video if you enjoy. Let's get into it. Okay, so if you are looking at the screen, you can see the table of contents on screen now. If you're not looking at the screen, I'm going to read out anyway, so here goes. We're going to look at the build, the itemization, the early game, the mid game, the late game, the positioning, and that's about it. Okay, let's go. So looking at the build is so easy that even your grandma's dog could play this comp. It's literally just 6 knights, KAYLE, and Rel. The comp uses the 6-Night trait to create a very tanky frontline. This buys time for KAYLE to go through ascensions, turning her into a very powerful late game carry. You can also choose to swap out knights for mystics if you are facing any Vel'Kozes, Karmas, Heimerdiнгers, the usual shebang. Moving swiftly on to the itemization for the comp. BIS for KAYLE is Guinsoo's, Guardian Angel and Hodge. For the core of KAYLE, you definitely want Guinsoo's and you definitely need Guardian Angels. The last item is a little bit flexible. You can go Hodge, you can go Gunblade, you can go Deathblade, whatever you can get your hands on really, which is going to work best. And then all tank items are going to go onto Galio, but in the start you can just stick them onto Leona, find a second Leona and then just swap them out. Moving over to the early game, your early game wants to look a little like this. You've got the 2 knights, you've got the 2 rangers. People ask when do you know when you want to go KAYLE? If at 2-1 you find Varus, you've got Varus earlier on, and you can make a core item for the KAYLE, then that's when you definitely want to know you want to go KAYLE. So it's not one of those things that you're going to transition to at 8 and you just roll across and you think, oh, I'm going to play KAYLE. It's kind of from the start, from the get-go, you know you're going to be playing KAYLE, so your whole game is just literally saving up to 8, getting KAYLE, and then just winning, getting top 4 easy. 2 things I want to point out when in the early game. If you are going to be playing KAYLE, number 1, you need good econ, and number 2, you need to survive. If you're bleeding out early on, it's not going to work. You're not going to get to 8, you're not going to get KAYLE. You need high health to be able to hit KAYLE, roll down, because when you get to 4-1, everyone's hit level 8, got their upgrades, and you're still stuck with a Varus 2, you're going to be losing hard. So you need that little bit of extra health to get you those extra roll downs, just so you can find KAYLE and secure yourself a top 4. Coming swiftly back off that tangent that I went on there, if you do find an early Varus 2 and you do have Guinsoo's on him, and you have 4 knights to put in, I'd just play 4 knights and Varus at level 5. It's super strong. Varus 2 is really strong early on. Just sack the ranger off because it's not really worth it. He gets the attack speed up from Guinsoo's anyway. You'll find yourself winning a lot more fights just to your front line surviving and blocking all that damage. So yeah, let's move on to the mid game. So in the mid game, as you can see, I still have 4 knights in because it's still really strong. If you can get 6 knights early, then go for it. If not, then like I did, picked up an early Syndra, just fill that spot with anything strong. You just want to be playing your strongest board at all times. When it comes to the Radiant shop at 3-6, you want to try and pick up a KAYLE item, one of the ones you haven't got. So you've got a Guinsoo's, you don't want to get a Guinsoo's, try and get a GA or a Hodge. As you can see, I didn't get anything good, so you always want to go for the tank item. I went for the Develop Palapala Stoneplate. I have no idea how you say that, but tank items are always best thing after the damage items. As you can see, I'm still 94 health, so it is a really strong early and mid-board game. It's just when you get towards the end of stage 4, you're going to start struggling, and that's when you're going to start losing hard, so that's when you need to start thinking about leveling up. But we shall take a look at that in a moment. So like I mentioned, if you do want to play KAYLE, you do need to keep as high health as possible by playing the strongest board you possibly can and win streak, which that means you're probably going to be last pick on the carousel. So that BF you wanted, that glove you wanted, there's a good chance that someone else is listening, they're reading your mind, and they are going to take it. So you're just going to find the best item you possibly can, slam that 3rd item, even if it's a strange one, just do whatever you can to make it to as high as possible and hopefully win the game. And to those people who are taking my items, I know who you are. I know you're watching, and I will find you. Okay, let's go into the late game. So, moving into the late game, what I thought we would do is something a little different. I'm going to go record over my thought processes as I'm rolling down for the KAYLE at level 8. If we do find it, it's a first. If we don't, it's an 8th. Well, it's not a first, but it's going to be a top 4. I did go 8 at 3-5 and roll down, but obviously I didn't find anything. All I found was 2 Garens and an Akshan. I just threw him in because obviously Ranger for Varus, and he's pretty good at the armor shred. So let's get into it. Let's roll down. Here we go. Okay, so we got 45 gold to work with. 48 no shall dash. Still nothing. Nope. Couple of knights. Nothing. Well, there's a Leona too. Still nothing. Guarantee. Starting to get worried. Panic stations. Oh my god, what have I done? There goes my LP. Oh my god, no, we're gonna lose. Oh my god, Papega, it's a KLT. There we go, boys. And it's just as easy as that. That's literally how you win the game. No, I'm just kidding. We got very, very lucky there. Obviously, we had the Nikos, which makes it so much easier, and the 2 kills right next to each other, which is very, very lucky. But yeah, even with 1 kill, we should have been okay. This fight was a bit of a disaster thanks to no trap claw to Diana, but yeah, we've got KL2 is the main important thing. We just need to find that Galio for 6 knights and then we are good to go. So here we are at the carousel on 5-4. Like I said before, I am last pick because we have been win streaking, we've got really high health. I've only got 2 items on KAYLE. I have GA and Gwinsu's. You can literally see me hover over the Hodge as we get in, and of course the last guy takes it. Of course he does, he always does. Like I said, they're in my mind, get out of my head. So you just gotta do with what you can, whatever items you can do, go ahead and slam them. It doesn't really matter as long as you've got like a GA and a Gwynstone, you should be okay. You can see here, I just decided to go with Giant Slayer. Why not? What's it gonna do? It's not gonna hurt anyone, so just stick it on. You should be alright. But this is a look at the final comp. This is what you want it to look like. You want to have your 6 knights in, you want to have your Vrel. If you don't have Galio 2, I wouldn't put items onto him yet. Galio 1 is kind of meh. He doesn't survive that long even with items. So just keep Leona 2 in. She's redeemed, so she's even a little bit tankier than your other knights. I've got a spur Leona 2 sat on bench there. But yeah, it's as easy as that. Literally, like I said, your grandma's dog could play this comp. Anyone could play this comp. It's really good for beginners. But you just got to know how to handle your econ and win your early and mid game. But yeah, that's about it. Let's have a look at the positioning in some of these last fights. One thing I do want to point out when we look at these fights is there is an abundance of Dianas and Viegos, and they are there to either interrupt your KAYLE, steal your KAYLE, take your KAYLE. They just want your KAYLE. So Banshee's Claw or Trap Claw, whatever you want to call it, is you kind of need to have it. If you don't have it, then you're gonna struggle. I did struggle until we hit Dragon, and then we did manage to get a Banshee's Claw. Luckily, I don't know how that happened. It must have been that RP I bought from Riot a couple of days ago. But yeah, if you don't have a Banshee's Claw, you are going to struggle. So if you've got spur items left over and you can make one, definitely slam it. It's a really strong item in the meta at the moment. You definitely want to be using that. So when it comes to positioning, you're not doing anything exciting. It's nothing big. You're literally just corner stacking your KAYLE. It doesn't matter if you're against assassins or anything else. Just literally just stick KAYLE in the corner, put everything in front of her, throw the kitchen sink in there. You want to make sure there's as much stuff as possible in front of your KAYLE, so the enemies have got to go through so much stuff before they can even touch KAYLE. So it doesn't matter who you're fighting, what you're fighting, it's always going to be the same positioning. Like I said, against the Dianas and Viegos, if you don't have a Banshee's Claw, try and position opposite side just so that it doesn't interrupt KAYLE. If not, she has GA, so hopefully you should be okay. So that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I did have a really good time making this video. I feel like my personality has started to come out. The first couple of videos I was a bit robotic, so I apologise for that. I was just trying to find my feet. I was a little bit nervous, but yeah, I'm starting to get there, so we're getting there. If you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like. Like I say, I do make multiple videos a week for TFT comps and guides, so subscribe for more. It would really help me out. We're on the road to 100 subs, so hopefully we can hit that soon. Let me know in the comments below if you did enjoy the guide. If you want to see any other guides, let me know. I was considering making a beginner's guide for people who are new to TFT and looking at what to do, how to use a recon, mid-game, stabilisation and things like that. So if you want to see that, then let me know. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.